Hello and good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Zilby is sort of here to say hi. He's been a little bit freaked out this morning, but I'm not exactly sure why. Hi. So today the plan is to continue working on the to-do app. Hello, Chantilly. Are you done being held? All right. So, let's see. We wanted to figure out what the order that I'm gonna do stuff in the course. So I was thinking about, okay, we start with installing, setting up Yew. We probably need to like set up Rust, and VS Code. Guess it would be like setup Rust, step, VS Code, Yew, I guess like the project repository. And then getting that working. Then all the way down here. Okay, so Hello World. Okay, getting like the View Hello World app up and running. Okay, then setting up global CSS. Creating our Hello World component, styling that. Bringing in a router, bringing in a state management. I think that this will probably have to be part of like components. And so looking through the user stories, one of the big things here is like when you want to create an account, for the most part, that's pretty simple, just simple components. That's like the top nav bar. But a big part of that is going to be sending out requests. So that's what we want to work on today. Which is, add this in here. HTTP requests. Basically, submitting a form. So I have the backend up and running right now. It should be back here. Oh, I guess the JS view is taking over everything. But I believe the backend is working with the. Yes, it must be if the JavaScript for Vue is working. So I want to be able to hit that, which means we need a component. Oh, really a page, like a view here for login, let's say. I'm going to go ahead and create that. I don't actually know if I need a style of this or not, but it's sort of like, I guess, just muscle memory at this point in time. All right, so we're gonna call this login page. I think we're just gonna call this login. I don't know if we need to pull in any properties for this. I think that this will be just fine, but we'll have to figure it all out. Okay, so login, I want, oh, you return HTML. All right, let's get this working first. Okay, so we're gonna come in over to here, and then when we log in, I want it to send us back to the main page. So for login, we're gonna need two forms. So for username and password, and then a button to submit. I believe we have those components now. We have text input and the button, and text input I don't believe will store anything up top, but I don't think we need to necessarily use like the bounce state for it, because I think that's going to stay in login now, based upon the way that this sort of system works. Okay. Text input. So let's grab those next. And then I forget everything we need inside. It should be yelling at us because no method name build found for struct. Yeah, so the problem here is that I'm not passing in all the properties that it needs, but because I'm not doing it, I get a very bad error message. So I actually have to go in here and look to see, okay, it needs the callback for onChange, it needs the label, and it optionally needs the placeholder. Okay, well, placeholder, our label is easy. For this one, we're going to use username, right? And then we need the on change. Andrew Lane, hello. Okay, for on change, this is going to be a callback. And I think it's part of this I forget where we get them from. I use that callback. Oh, it's from the prelude. That's where it's from. Okay, so taken you, it's gonna be whatever is passed in. So we'll just say username. So username change. We know that you're going to be a string coming in, and we could just glue log this. That might make sense. Let's see that from glue in here. Let's see, what is it? Use glue, console, log. I don't think there's anything else. Okay, and then we can say on change. Username on change. And that makes that happy. Let's see. It does not make it happy. Okay, so you're unhappy. Expected function. Oh, it's a macro. Let's see. No field on change. Oh, it's on underscore change. Okay. Then I think we're good to go here. If I put in our username, so let's just use Brooks. I get that logged out. Okay, so now password time. Okay, this should also log out the password when it changes. So if I just do that, well, that's a problem. Generally speaking, you don't want your passwords to display like this. So we probably want something like a type that becomes a password. Sadden Dirks, hello. You're a new viewer, surprised to see HTML and Rust. Do you love it? Awesome. Yeah. So this is Yew.rs. It is a front-end framework written in Rust that allows you to write Rust, and then it's sort of like React or Vue, or more like, I guess it's between the two of them, but a little bit closer to it's pretty nice. I'm liking it so far. There's always this sort of like the weird gotchas from a brand new framework, but this one's pretty interesting. Hold on, I forgot to take my supplements from this morning. All right. So I need a type for this. So we need to come back in. Text input. I kind of feel that we need to have a type to make this password. So what if I do type, ooh, I can't do pub type just like that because that's a reserved keyword. So maybe like component type or input type. And you should probably be an option. And then I think we're going to use an enum. Actually, we could make this not an option, and you're required to state what it is. So then this would just be input type. We have text. And then we have password. Okay, so as soon as I save that, we're gonna get tons of errors. Okay, so first of all, okay, you need partial equals. And clone. Okay, so that makes this happy here. The other thing is that in the actual HTML, we need to set this type right here based upon this type. So I kind of want to do an impl to string. You're being a TypeScript user, you'd love to try this on Rust. Rust is stricter than TypeScript. I agree with that, yeah. Oh, you've been getting your hands dirty with Rust recently? Nice. So the course is coming. Basically, I need to like just finalize making sure I fully get like all the elements that I need to get. So for example, sending HTTP requests from the front end for this. Once I'm confident I have all the things necessary for these user stories, then just like final ordering of like what all the pieces of the course are going to be, and figuring out what the videos I'm going to create are, then recording those, and I don't really do too much editing on them, and then putting them up on YouTube. That's what it takes for one of these courses, but I'm going to be doing them all here on Twitch. So that's you're gonna see it all come together. Okay, so we have this, which means now in this type, we get to say This is going to be our props dot input type. Oh, there. Come on, you found it for a second. Input type dot toString. Okay, so you're happy here. So now, all right. It's really not great because it shows like, hey, the error is on label. It doesn't like that. And it's like, no, it's not the fact that it doesn't like label. It's the fact that it doesn't have a input type, which in this case, oh, you were trying out like Solana stuff. I've seen some people work with Solana. It seems pretty good for that, but I haven't really done anything blockchain. How are you liking it? Okay, so input type is gonna be input type. Can you find that? Yes. Input type text. And then I need, okay, for login now, we need to do the same thing over here. Okay, so we're gonna do, come on. Put type equals input type. Go ahead and import that. You're going to be text, and you are going to be password. Okay, back to this. And now we have that. Of course, I'm still constantly logging it out, but the password is now obfuscated, so that's good. I also do want a button. Don't I have components button? Oh, Atom button. Button wrapper. Now what do you want? All right, this one is a an experiment. It's in a folder like this, so I can have the style in a completely separate file, which gives me lets the VS Code actually, treat it like a style file. We haven't done that with the HTML either, but I assume that I could, but I have no idea what it would do about these. It would probably freak out about them. Does Rust Analyzer work for you? You can sort of see Rust Analyzer is struggling a lot with this one. And that's because Yew is really macro heavy. It's it's having a rough time. Like everything has just a macro, and macros and Rust Analyzer are not best of friends. They're getting better. It is definitely getting better. I don't pay for it, and in the past, when I've tried using the sort of like IntelliJ suite of projects, I just, it was really hard for me to use them. They was like so busy of a interface. I had trouble reading the text and like reading my code. So I just sort of stopped using it. Their new one looks like it's closer to VS Code though. So I might end up trying that one when it comes out, but that's still in beta. All right, what was I doing? I was looking into this one, bot. And we can see that for our properties, we have a label and a color. The color is this enum. So we probably want something like primary or success. So conscious button wrapper. Button color also. I do not have a university email. I've been that got shut off a long time ago for me. So I can't get it for free. I could ask my work for it, but we've been pretty happy with VS Code. We actually use, I don't have it installed right here, but there's an extension for VS Code that uses the live share, I think, which allows you to have multiple people working at the same time. It's exactly like a Google Docs collaboration. It is great. You can see everybody's cursors. It's great for mob programming and pair programming. Okay, so we want a label. This is going to be login, and we have color, and this is going to be a button color. Primary or a success? Let's do primary. See, there's another thing, like it's having a lot of trouble figuring out what that is. See if I did this correctly. I might try Fleet when it comes out. It really depends upon how much it costs, and when it's and like what the features are available at release. So I'll have to make that decision, but I don't have to make the decision for a little while. I'll wait. Okay, so here's our login. So do I know, is there a way for me to know when it's clicked? I don't. So we need to have a callback function for on click for when that happens. Because I don't think I can do this in a, can I do this in a form? Ooh, we should try that. I should try putting this all in a form here. So for you, I think it would be an on submit. So let's create another one here. So this is going to be a form on submit. I have no idea what this is going to pass in for me. It's going to be something. Probably an event of some kind. Oh, it's a focus event. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we'll log that out. It doesn't really matter to me because as soon as this happens, I know that I'm attempting to submit the form, but I want to see what happens. So if I do, if I click the button, does that fire? So a couple things happen there. First of all, that refresh happened, which means we need to prevent default on the form. I need to figure out how to do that. Oh, I wonder if I can do that in here. Okay, try this again. Oh, that still doesn't work. Okay. You're upset now. Ooh, okay. In Yew's documentation, they have a list of the events. Okay, so it's this focus event here. Okay, so it's a focus event. All right, let's see if that works. I have noticed that it will refresh and reload this page as if it worked, but if there is an error in the code, it won't actually load the new code. So you can be thinking like, well, it refreshed, so that's good, right? But no, it didn't really do what you wanted it to do. Okay, so I have all those. Hey, there we go. Okay. That's annoying stuff, but that's not too big of a problem. So now we have this submit. We have a target, which is the form itself. I don't know if I can get any of the information from it, but that's going to be fine because what we're going to do is we're just going to store this information away right here. So can I have you... Because you're going to be in those callbacks. Don't know if I can set this up like that. I don't know if I can do like a struct that it updates. Let's find out. Like let mute username. Let's say we initialize that with a none, and then in here, I want to now set that to be username. It's gonna now be equal to a some username. Oh, well, that's a problem. So let's do username value. Let's see. Oh, fn mute, and it can only implement fn. Okay, so that's a problem. It mutates something outside of there. Okay, so we can't do that. So what do we do instead? We can potentially do... We could potentially use bounce for this. So let's head into our store. Okay, so we're gonna derive default partial equal and atom. Okay, so this is gonna be probably like a user. So pub username. This is gonna have to be an option string. Let's do that for right now. The defaults on, okay, the default on an option is going to be none. So this will set up like that. What is the derive thing? Yeah, so this is derive, and so it's telling the compiler, okay, make sure that these traits are attached and set up for these users. It's essentially like a macro type thing. So what I'm just saying, okay, implement default for user. Okay, great. But behind the scenes, if I didn't have this, what's happening here is an impl default for user. And it's really simple. It just comes through here and says, okay, for each one of these things, implement the default thing on it. So it does require default all the way up the chain, but then I don't have to write this out for everything that I need that for. So that's what's happening behind the scenes. Now we need to fix you, so we don't have this username anymore. Okay, so now we're going to say let what do they call this? User. So let user. I'm just gonna call this a store to be precise. Okay, user store equals use atom. This is user. That. Jim Fick, hello. You recently installed Rust, going through some tutorials. I would like to do some web apps eventually. Awesome, yeah. It's definitely possible to do web apps with Rust. Okay, so you're happy there. Let's see, I think we have to clone you to move you in, if I remember correctly. We did this in home. Here's this mouse text input. Oh yeah, it does a move inside of here. It does make me wonder. Oh yeah, see, we clone it right here. Okay. It does make me wonder a little bit. Can I use it outside of that? But let's see. So user store. I want to now do a move inside of here. It's no longer going to be quite like this. Now we take in this username value, which is going to be the string, and I want to take the user store and set the I want to emit, okay, set the username and get that way. Jim F for Jim, please. Okay, Jim. Oh, you said that yesterday too. Sorry about that. I eventually will remember it. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Because looking at how we use this in here, we just do like a bounce text input, and then we create a brand new one that it goes into, which means I need the previous one to set it to, and then make a change to it. So let's start by grabbing the previous one. I can't do the clone inside of here because it needs to be cloned before it moves in. So I'm just gonna put in let user store clone. Okay, so specifically clone that. Now we can use it inside of here. So first of all, I want the current user. Let's do user equals user store clone dot, is there a get? Now look at that. We can get the password and we can get the username. So it's this handler. Danny, hello. Good morning from bed. Yeah, I could see it being a lazy Tuesday. Okay, so if oh, you know what? I want to clone this. Can I clone you? Oh, if I clone you, you're not cloning what that one is. Can I clone like? No, I don't want to clone that. I want to get the contents of it. So user store clone. I guess if I just ref it or deref it, that gives us this user here. Oh, actually heading to bed. Okay. Oh, you work nights. Okay. I haven't worked like a late. I was trying to remember, like, I don't think I've worked overnight before. At least like officially. But do you have weekends off? Well, that should be nice, right? Because then you can still hang out with friends, unless you have to sleep with them, all day. That's the thing that I would probably imagine is rough of working nights, is you're sleeping when everybody else is, okay, I'm ready to go. Okay, so I have my user. Now I want to update that user. So I want to say, make you mutable. Say user dot username. We're gonna say you're now some username value. And then we're going to set this. So now we're going to say user store clone. Flocking behind chat overlay is a nice touch. Is the chat overlay in Rust? So the chat overlay is a service that I'm using from CM Griffin. I don't remember if I don't think he created that in Rust. I think he's using Node.js and JavaScript behind the scenes. We have created some chatbot type things, but usually not like that one's not in it. The flocking is done. I have it running right here. This is a simulation running in Rust using GGEZ, the game engine. Oh, you're young enough, so you still got plenty of energy. Nice. Okay. I can imagine the older we get, the less fun that becomes. Okay, so now I want to. What do I have to do? That just becomes okay. Balance text. Yeah. Okay. So that just becomes a set. And then the value is going to be user. So you just put you right back. Cannot move out of here. Now, can I have you implement the copy trait? That would actually be really nice. Oh, interesting. Look at that. It doesn't implement clone. So behind the scenes, it must be. Do clone and copy. Yeah, look at that. It's not happy. The trait copy may not be implemented for this type. Oh, because these don't implement copy. Okay, fine. Fine. Oh, strings don't implement copy. That's what it is. Okay, so then I need to clone you. Now, if I clone this, cannot move out of the dereference, consider borrowing here. I feel like that's not gonna work, right? Because it's trying to dereference the result of this. Maybe I clone here. Maybe I don't clone here. So, okay, I dereference you and then clone. Danny, well, have a good night. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. Have a great night or day. Now, if I do that, now you're not mutable because it's behind this. Yeah, so I need to get this out. There's this. I can use deref like this. Oh, can I use deref mute? Oh, there is no deref mute. Okay, so I can deref this. Oh, and then can I clone this? Oh, that's the way to do it. Now I don't need to clone you anymore. Now I own user because I derefed it, then cloned the result. Then I set that and put that in there. Okay, perfect. Then when we do this form on submit, what I want to do is I want to get another user store clone. Really, I could probably just use this one. So do move. Now I want to just print out what this user store clone is. So log user store, and let's see if I can deref you. Now you're upset because oh, it doesn't know how to convert this into like an object. So I would need to do something like user store dot username. And then like user store dot password. And you cannot move out of here, so I don't want to. Can I just reference you? I can't reference you. Do I have to reference both of you at the same time? This option string. Oh, do I have to like unwrap you? Oh, weird. Okay, so I have to unwrap you. Wait, no, I don't. Okay, cannot move out of dereference. So I unwrap you. Oh, as ref. As ref. Okay, so from the option, I want to do an as ref. Which means I don't get this thing. Okay, no errors. Now, I think we're going to get a crash because I'm not putting in the password necessarily. So I put in Brooks, hit login. Hey, okay, so that works. Get you. You shouldn't crash because it's all front end stuff, right? Yeah, so you just rebuild just fine. Yes, that's interesting. The option doesn't cause it like any crashes or anything else to happen because, you know, JavaScript doesn't care. Okay, so now if I hit return from here, yeah, so now the keyword works because I'm okay, so let's do password, which I don't have that yet. You can just go up there. Let's do the exact same thing again up here. So password on change. I can shadow this. We'll do a move. Okay, and so the big difference here is I want, okay, so I need to grab out the user. We deref that, and then we clone the result. It's going to be a sum password. Keep on hitting like the keys just to the right of my my enter key, which is messing things up. Okay, so then we do user stroke clone, we set user. So this is the negative of using Rust. This is so much more work to do the same thing because of type safety and like really strong type system. And of course the borrow checker. But it's extremely explicit and very safe too. Jim, okay. AFK. I usually end between 8:15 to 8:30, so I may not be back when you come back. But thank you for hanging out with me and the interactions while you do it. And if I don't see you on chat again, have a great rest of your day. Okay, so we do that, and now password should be set too. So now we do there we go. I need to just remove you. Oh, can I just turn you off? Let me. Manage extension. Off. Okay. That should not happen anymore. There we go. Okay. So now we have this on submit event, and we see our username and password is set up here. Okay, great, perfect. Now what I really want to do is to now have this submit out and like send the message to our server. The question becomes, where do I do that? Now, in something like Redux, I would probably put the actual like HTTP request in the store. In Vue, that's what I would do too. And does that make sense here? I think it does. So I think we come here to bounce. I believe that I can do an impl on user. I bet we can do some sets to make this a little bit nicer in there too. But for right now, we want to do a request, right? So I'm probably going to want to do a actual like login. Like, let's just do like a login to server. Don't know what I would return from this. I might want to just do sort of like logs throughout this. So let's log. I don't think I can log self. I think I have to log like a specific thing. Ooh, cannot move. Don't want to. Oh, that's too bad. So I can't use a reference on that. I could do a clone. I guess that works. Okay, so now I want to tell it to log into the server. So we're going to do that from here. So on submit, I no longer need those logs. Now I'm going to do, we're going to grab the user store. So that, I think I can do this. User store dot login to server. Cannot borrow data in a dereference of bounce as mutable. Deref mute is required to modify through a dereference, but it's not implemented. Okay, so can I do that? Can I derive that? Oh, it's only a trait. Okay, so I have to implement that manually. Is it worth it? Okay, so dear mute, I just want a mutable reference to a self target. Do I need to set the target? I think it's something like self target. I don't remember how to do this stuff. We can go take a look at the documentation. Okay, so deref mute. Oh, I need to implement deref first. I think that's what it is. I need to implement deref, and then I can implement deref mute. Okay. Okay, so there it is. Type target is going to be equal to user. So that way I'm just going to do a self to this user. So then you become a reference. I think I can just return self. And I can just return self here. And I don't need this thing at all. It's nice and simple. Back to you. Reach the recursion limit while auto dereferencing store bounce user. Oh no. Okay, so it's attempting to do this. Oh, but there's so many. Okay, so I can't actually do this. That's too bad. So recursive deref. That's not great. Let's see. I guess that self may be something else. I think that might be the problem. Okay, so user store. I cannot borrow data in the dereference. So can I do, I guess I could deref clone it. Can I just clone you? Yeah. I mean, so this probably works. I think it's stored behind the scenes in an RC, which is why I'm getting the same version when I clone it. Clones are very cheap in RCs, so this should be fine. It just looks a little bit weird and ugly. Okay, so now. Here is that log that happens here. Okay, so just the username. And then I want to send I want to actually send a request out. So what are my options? Let's take a look at the Yew documentation to see if they have any suggestions. I'm essentially, oh, you know what? It's probably going to be it's probably going to be fetch. Why does login take mutable ref? Login takes mutable self because I am going to want to get the token from the user when I log in and then set that. So eventually what we're going to have here is a pub token, and this is going to be an option string. So that's what we need here. Advanced topics. Okay, let's take a look at glue. Glue might have it. No, I don't need to input default there. I'll just use default here. Oh, is it under external libs? Okay. I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's going to be something else, isn't it? External libraries. Console timers, dialogues, events, files, timers, and web storage. Ooh, Requasm. Requasm? HTTP request library for WASM apps. It provides idiomatic REST API for the browser's fetch and WebSocket API. Ooh, okay. Why not take ownership and return an authenticated user with just token field, storing password? Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. Where I would want to like store that, maybe a different. Maybe I have a different store for that stuff then. That might make more sense. We have a different store, or we have a one really big store. Post login, I need username and the token. Username to like display welcome username. So I need everything but the password. We could just delete the password too and set it back to none. Because I would imagine that as we're done with login to server, the last thing we would do is like self.password equals none. That might make sense. Is we'll just set it back to none as soon as we're done with this. That's what we did with the other one too. So we can reuse this with the create account as well. Okay, so Requasm. Let's see. HTTP library for WASM apps. It provides idiomatic REST bindings for WebSits, Fetch, and WebSocket API. We can do some WebSocket stuff in here too. Okay, HTTP. Request, get, path, send, await, unwrap. Okay. So we want this. Yep, gotta wait. Gotta let it let REST Analyzer do its thing. Come on, Rust Analyzer. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we can do use requasm HTTP. Oh, interesting. So what? It would be request. Okay, so we're going to use this request to get, okay, so let response equals request. This is going to be a post. The URL. Okay, so in this specific case, oh, do I not have you open here? Okay, we can do this in the terminal. I wonder if I can open up code in here. I want to do Docker compose. Yeah, okay, that works. So our Node.js Express server for this is running on port 3000 in, I guess it's Node.js-Express is the host name. So I'll just hard code this in right now, and then we'll use an environment variable for it later. So this is going to be HTTP Node.js-Express colon 3000. So that takes in a URL and it returns a self. Okay, so we probably then do something like dot body. Oh, then API v1 users login, I believe was what it was. Okay, then dot body. This is something that goes into a JS value. I don't know if this user does that. I don't think I can do something like this, right? Just put in. Oh, can I do like oh, like a web something? Okay, let's go ahead and find out. Okay, not that. I want a okay, returns a self. Okay, so I just need something that impulse into JS value. Okay, it's a wasm bind gen JS value. Cheese, thank you. How do I make something a JS value? Left pane. Also, I could do, let's see, as string. Oh, into Serde. Oh, from Serde. Into Serde. Invokes JSON.stringify on this value and then parses the resulting JSON into an arbitrary Rust value. This function will first call JSON stringify in the JS value itself. Okay, so I have a struct. Okay, so I want something else. Maybe, okay, this was into Serde. How about from Serde? Creates a new JS value from the JSON serialization of the object T provided. The function will serialize the provided JSON to a JSON string, and the JSON string JS, parse it into JS object, and then return a handle to a JS object. Okay, so that is a thing. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at that. There's also a JSON method helper on the request builder that works in a similar fashion to the form method. It can take any value that can be serialized into JSON. The feature JSON is required. Okay, so this is part of request. Oh, request wasn't. Oh, interesting. That's not what I'm using. I'm using requasm, which I guess is... Oh. Oh, I have to create like a hash map probably. I wonder if that will work just fine. If I just create a hash map and try to send that. Okay. So let's create impl. Okay, so for impl user, I'm also going to create a private function. Function to like to map to hash map. I guess I could take do I want this to take ownership of it? I don't really want to. I want it to... It's not... Okay, so it's not going to be an into. It's not going to be an as. So we're going to do a hash map with a string. I think that's what we're going to put into here. Okay, so we're going to return that hash map equals GFB mutable. Hash map new. We're going to return the hash map. Okay, so we're going to do hash map dot inserts. Okay, so the key is going to be username, and I guess you need to be owned, and the value is going to be self dot username and clone. Then do the exact same thing with password. So then, okay, our body is going to be self dot to hash map. Oh. I want, let's unwrap it for now. Sure, what could possibly go wrong with that? Okay, so if I can do it from a T, from a string, from a stir, and from a boolean, and 143 others. Oh, just have the struct derive serialize and send it? We could try it. Which I guess that means we have to pull in Serde. Because I don't have serialize here. And I don't think... Okay, so we have to pull in Serde. What is it? I forget. There's like a Serde serialize, right? Okay, so I do that. Oh, okay, I need this for... Okay, they just Serde. Okay, that's what it is. Oh, I don't have that check in here. We'll just do one. Why not just use request wasm? I want to see if I can use the one that they suggest first. And if we can't, then we'll probably do request wasm next. Do I have to tell you? I need Serde derive also. Here's 1.0. What is it? Serde underscore derive. And then you become serialize, which means I need to import, which you can't do right now. Okay, then can I say self? I don't think I can do like a reference to self, right? No, because that's a double reference then. Yeah, okay. And I think there's other weird things going on here with like the atoms. That's why I don't think I can serialize that. Oh, I have to do from Serde on it? Okay. So self. Wait, how do I do from Serde? Is the from Serde, but I don't have a JSON value on it yet, so I can't do from Serde. Oh wait, type. Okay, so I can do JS value. JS value from Serde self. It doesn't like that. Okay. Nah. I think. Oh, it's a result. Unwrap. Okay. Then dot. I don't think I need anything else, right? Probably just send. Oh, it's going to be a future. So now I need to basically async await that, or otherwise figure out how to deal with that. We don't need this to hash map anymore, so I'm just going to get rid of you. So technically this is working, but I can't just do an await on it. I have to have a runner for it. So I can say that. But because we're not in an async block, now that means this needs to be async. Is it hub async? Okay, no errors. I want my response. So now let's log the response. See what we got. We don't know what we got. Response dot. I know. It's like it's crazy where everything goes. Okay, so I need what is this response? Requasm. So we get a response. Oh, they have functions on this. Okay. Gets the body. So that's gets and parses the JSON. So okay. So response.json. That. Which is a result. Okay. Wait, are you async? Oh, you're async too. Dot. Oh wait. Type inside async function body must be known in this context. Cannot infer type for. Okay. There was like the raw, right? As raw. Let's just see what we're getting back. Okay, so are you making a request? No, there's no request being made. No error happening. Okay, how about this? Not getting any information from the back end, from the server. So a lot of unknowns here of like what's happening, but doesn't seem to be doing anything. I'm a little bit concerned about the await. I wonder if I have to like await the other stuff too. I don't know. We'll have to continue looking into this tomorrow because it's 8:35. I have a stand up in 10 minutes. So I have to go get ready for work. I'm sorry, everybody. I would love to just keep on working on this until I got it working, but I'm gonna have to do this. If I can get up early tomorrow, I will be working on this tomorrow morning. Otherwise, it'll be either later in a week or on Sunday. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was a lot of fun. I think we got some good progress going, and I'm looking forward to getting this stuff working next time. So have a great day, and I'll see you whenever the next time is. Bye.